Today, I'm going to be showing you how I made Understand Your Greatness, my new single that is out right now. Usually, I'd be able to play it with on the piano, but however, it's a USB, and I've only got USB-C on my MacBooks, as you can see. With this track, I started with a bass line. And then what you also notice is it starts brightening up. Now, the reason I did that was because obviously at the start of the tune, the vocals there, everything else is there. Plus as well, I didn't want to give the listener the full thing before we got to the drop. That's why it filters in as the tune starts to build up and then comes back out and then fully in for the drop. Then, once I made the bass line, I found a vocal, just a splice vocal. It's not original this time. But it sounds like without any effects on.
You always put your best foot forward. It's why you smile on a down day.
So what I did was, on top of the actual original vocal, what I did is I duplicated the sample, pitched it down by 12, so it's an octave below, and then I widened it to make the vocal feel a bit bigger. This is the vocal channel, so I had a bit of Xbox just to bring a bit of air out, take some highs out, de-ess it a little bit. Wicked plugin. If you don't have it, get it. I just EQ'd it, took some shit out of there, and then I took the low mids out because obviously the pitch down vocal, that's where I want it to sit, and that's where I want the widthness to sit. Once you've added all them effects together, this is how it sounded.
It's why you always put your best foot forward. It's why you smile on a down day.
See how much fuller and thicker and sexier that sounds. Mwah. Reverb that out.
It's why you always put your best foot forward.
Boom, and then that's where the drop is. Now let's move on to the drums. The most questions I actually get asked in like DMs and stuff and comments on tracks is, your drums are always thick and punchy. It does come from your sample choice. That is the number one thing. You want to be picking thick kicks, like clean, crunchy claps, snares that sit with a clap, and also there's techniques around it, and I'll go into that one day. But if you're after them kind of kicks and claps, I've crafted my own pack, which is on sale now for 10 quid. Just a quick little promo. Moving on to the drums, this is what the drums are sounding like. Just typical drums really, nothing too quite swingy. Put all them elements together, you've got this. Now, moving on into the second part of the track, I always like to keep the listener entertained. I always, not even just for the listener, for myself. So, moving on to the second part of the track, I don't want to get the track to get stagnant. So what I did is I brought this lead in. I don't know what it is about that lead, I just love it. Oof. To make it extra less stagnant, I brought in some vocal chops, yeah, which sound like this.
Yeah, you want that, your greatness. Yeah, you want that, your greatness.
The reason why it sounds like it's ducking is because I've got kickstart on there to let the drums kick through so the bass line can punch as well as the kicks. Let me show you what I mean. So now this is coming to the second part of the track. First drop, sorry. And this is what happens. See how once you put these elements together, it just comes into like a Gordon Ramsay Michelin star meal. I wish I were a Michelin star chef, I'd be minted. Listen, if you want to see more of these on how I make my tracks, and I'll invest into some equipment if you want to see more of this to share the screen and all the other bits and bobs, then drop a like, comment, repost this if you found it interesting, and save it and use some of the techniques in your own productions, and hopefully it inspires one of you to go make an absolutely wicked tune. And if you do, send me it, I want to hear it.